Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video, we'll be going through for the patch 3.4.16, which is the last patch for 2024, and then we're gonna this is a R6 parity tier list. So this tier list here depends on how important are these Esper R6 effect in the PvP content. Every single Esper here depends on their R6 effect, how impactful is for the PvP content. This point of view here is depends on my own tier, which is around point war 21 to 24, and then it really depends on knockout, beat bout, and temporal not temporal, triple threat as well. Then this tier here depends on how impactful is the R6 effect. So let's say Mavis here, the R6 effect is not that impactful, so it will be not worth the chasing. Well, meanwhile, as per like let's say Lin or Sakura, they have a very impactful R6 effect. Then they're listed at Rush R6. Then the one that is not that urgent, which is let's say like R2 or R4 or extra stats actually benefit to them, then I'll put it not that urgent. So this is how I'm gonna differentiate the tiers. Okay, so since that this tier list here is actually the continued version of 3.4.9, which is 4 months ago. So this is the update tier list version. So there's some changes since the balance patch, so I will increase the value, right? So for Yamato here, the first one, I'll be pushing up Yamato up to Rush R6, because after the buff of Yamato actually increase a lot of value, especially if you're using a defender team. Yamato R6 value is actually very important. The AoE dispel, the AoE heal actually come in very handy. Okay, then the rest of the Esper here, I don't think it's that impactful at R6 or their Reso, but I do think Nora 1 will go up to not that urgent, but it's very value for Nora's Reso effect. Like the R2 effect, the R4 effect will actually come in very strong. It increases her damage output. R6 value, the 100% counter attack chance, I don't think it's that impactful, but because I think 50% chance is actually a pretty high value already, and assuming you get hit for a few times, it's very easy to trigger the 50% chance, so you don't really need a 100% chance. But I would say the more important Reso are like R2 and R4. And the other Esper, let's say like Fumisuki, I'll increase the value as well, not that urgent. But R6 value here is also pretty good, because you always have the bamboos buff on Fumisuki, and Fumisuki will have the healing effect for herself at the start of the combat. So it's actually a very good value in my opinion. Fatima here got a buff, but I don't think Fatima really need the Reso chase as well. Yuhimi here, I'll push up to not that urgent as well. Like after you get all these Esper here already, that is already R6, and then you want the Fumisuki R6 effect to get bonus turn with your highest attacker, then it will come in handy, or else it doesn't really matter too much for the R6 effect. Okay, then the rest of the Esper here, I think it will still remain not worth chasing Reso in PvP content. Okay, then not that urgent, I think everyone here will still remain the value. Then Rush R6 here. Okay, maybe I'll push Abigail down, I feel. I think I'll push Abigail down, not worth chasing the Reso at the moment. Yeah, I think these will be the changes. Then let's add in the new Esper. So Meta Liling here, I would say Rush R6 if you have the chance to get Meta Liling, because the Meta Liling R6 effect is very impactful. You instantly get an S2 at the start of the combat, and the S2 here will actually give you a free bonus. Another ally who have the highest attack has their ultimate for free. It's a very good pair for himself, or even with team like Moriyama as well. And if you actually see Meta Liling in action in Big Bout or Point War, they are usually freaking scary, because you can't kill them, it's very tanky, and then he can actually just nuke you down, unless you have a way to actually one-shot him at the start of combat, let's say like using Momo or Moriyama to kill Meta Liling. Then for Elif here, right, Elif here R6 effect, I would say not that urgent, but it do come in handy with the Reso that Elif get, because the damage output she is able to put in the PvP content is actually massively high. But I won't say the R6 value is that important in PvP content, because the assist is actually using her S1, while meanwhile the S3 here is already at her default kit. So I would say it's not that urgent instead of rush R6. Then for Slon here, for PvP content, I would say not that urgent as well. Surprisingly, she's actually very strong in PvP content, especially if you have her R6. Wait, let me think. If you have her R6, I would say, yeah, I'll still put a not that urgent. Like, usually when I use Slon in PvP content, it's usually only in triple threat. And when I use triple threat, it's like I know I'll get outspeed, I know Slon will die, and Slon will trigger her R6 effect and instantly counter attack back with her S3 and AoE freeze them. It's a very strong Esper using in triple threats, as long as you avoid, like, let's say like Momo, all these Esper that cannot get freeze or they actually counter attack to kill you. As long as you are putting in a team that you know you're gonna get outspeed and Slon will die, then Slon will revive and do an AoE ice, which is massively damaged. I really like Slon because my Slon is R6 in PvP content, but other than R6 value in PvP content is usually at lower tier, or maybe you are very secure that you are able to one-shot them, or else it's not worth to use Slon in PvP. Then for Nathaniel here, personally I would say rush R6. Like his DPS output, okay, I would say not that urgent. Like his DPS output of R6 is actually very high, but actually without the R6 effect, his DPS output is also high enough to actually nuke you down already. His R6 is like overkill, you know, his damage is like too high. It actually overkill the enemy Esper. So if you have R6 Nathaniel, you can actually build him more tankier instead of more crit damage and defend, because the R6 actually give you more damage, so you can actually make him more tankier, like with higher HP, so even Momo true damage won't kill him that easily. So I would say that the R6 effect won't impact too much in PvP content, but it's a very strong Esper. Even without R6, he's definitely doing a lot of damage already. Then for Bidao here, I would say not worth chasing the R6 effect. Reso doesn't really change too much. Then in Chuan here, I would say not worth chasing Reso, but the R2 effect here is good. The R2 effect here is actually very good, so I would actually push it up to not that urgent. Is his R6 effect even good though? Like bonus turn for everyone. Yeah, I think I'll push him down because I don't think the R6 effect value too much in PvP content. Then for Yijing here, I would say her value for PvP content is actually very high for her R6, because at the start of the combat you instantly apply warm welcome on the lowest HP, and if you actually get outspeed, which if let's say normal situation, your Yijing is not going to apply the warm welcome at the start, which means if your team actually get wiped out or your lowest HP DPS actually died, you're not able to trigger the warm welcome because she even haven't applied yet. So her R6 value actually give her at the start of the combat instantly apply the warm welcome first. So your lowest HP DPS will actually instantly have a secure within the team. So I really think that her R6 value is very high for PvP content if you're using a Yijing team. Like let's say like Meta Liling team that's gonna need Yijing, the R6 value at the start of combat is very important. Then for Lushang here, I would say it's not that urgent, because the R6 effect is when Lushang revive, everyone get a bonus turn, right? Or wait. If Lushang die, then everyone get a bonus turn, but I think Lushang usually is the last one to die because he's actually pretty tanky. So the R6 value is like good, but not that important, so I would say not that urgent for Lushang. Then for Osana here, I would say not worth chasing the Reso, doesn't really give too much value in PvP content. Then for Wenlock here, definitely rush R6 if you have the chance, if you actually have the money to go for it, if you have the stamina, go try to get him to R6, slowly gather your championship coin to get his R6, because the R6, you can go check out my video that I posted before, his R6 showcase. He's actually doing very strong in PvP content with his R6 effect, because when your teammate take their turn, when active turn, when they do some damage, you won't trigger any kind of counter attack. You won't get any kind of damage, especially damage like reflection or wheel, true damage when they get hit. All those damage you won't get anything else, and then you won't trigger enemy Avatara, you won't trigger Nora 100% counter attack chance, you won't trigger Anna to poke you back. All kind of counter attack won't trigger. Warlock R6 is actually insane in PvP content, but not many players have him R6 yet. Okay, then the other one is gonna be Shimmer Esper here. Then Shimmer Esper for Moriyama, I would say not that urgent, because Moriyama doesn't really need the R6 effect to kill people. R0, R2, R1 is already enough to kill people. Then R6 is just another secure layer, because he won't get AP down, so it's another layer of secure to get countered by, let's say, Yuhime, or if he get AP pushed by your Esper, then he won't get AP down. It's just another layer of secure. I don't think the R6 actually matters too much in PvP. You can debate with me, but I don't really think so. His R6 is that important. Usually you will see Moriyama in higher tier is like R2 to R5. You won't really see a R6. It's very less. Then for Zihe here, I would say not that urgent as well, because the R6 is really good, to be honest, really good, like double S3 instantly. People's S3 is like 10% damage taken, and then yours increase up to 20% damage taken from one S3, you double the speed up. But is it that important for Zihe position? I don't really think so, because R0 or R2 is really, or maybe R4 is already enough to use Zihe to be in the PvP content. I don't think the R6 effect is like game-changing effect. Then the last one here is Mingshuo. So Mingshuo here, I don't have him R6 yet, so I can't really put him into the position in PvP content at the moment. But if what I'm looking at, I think he will be at the same tier at Slon at the moment, which is not that urgent. But since he's a free Esper, and I'm using the profile picture of Mingshuo, I'll put him at Artiar tier. And then because these two are my profile picture, but to be honest, they are the free Esper. They are definitely going to be the Rush R6 here, just because they are free. But to be honest, like Camille here is Artiar tier, because in PvP content you're not going to use her, but she is a free Esper, so you're going to get her R6 anyway. And then Mingshuo is a free Esper, you're going to get him R6 anyway, just about time, just a matter of time, right? But I think his R6 is going to be good, but how good, I'm not sure yet. But this will be my R6 priority tier list for 3.4.16 patch. Feel free to comment down what you guys think about it. Yeah, let me know which part you agree or disagree about this tier list, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is JenMP, Yakishiba Tales, Kami, thank you so much for your support. And for the supporter or patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Code Wilderness, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwalks, Rimu, Choni, Antonio Winterspoon, Marlene Williams, Im Cragran, Riku Fred X Iris, Calamity, Rocco Standions, thank you so much for your support. Special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest tag. Thank you so much for Code Wilderness, Calamity, Agni, Love Fatima, Fatima Little Underwear, Bloods, Riku Fred, Choni. Thank you so much for your support.